And here we go. Here we go on this Monday evening in the city. It is the 4th day of August. It's August. I thought I would say that just to myself because time is flying so fast, and it's only 4 months left in the year after this. Well, anyway, it is 6 o'clock straight up, and that means it is time for an all new live and, in whatever, Real Talk Memphis. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. It is great to be here this evening. Have you enjoyed the nice unsummer-like weather we've had for the last several days? Temperatures in the 80s, low on the humidity factor. It has just absolutely been lovely. And all of us, I'm sure, are taking advantage of it. I hope you took advantage of it over the weekend, got out and enjoyed some beautiful, beautiful weather. We're going to see we're in the 80s now, mid to upper, but we're going to get back into the 90s here pretty soon. We're going to get into the low 90s probably by Wednesday and heading into the weekend. And it looks like 90s, low to mid for the next week and a half with very little rain. So I hope you enjoyed what we had while we had it. But again, welcome to the broadcast. Glad to have you with us this evening. We have a good show. As always, we hope that you stick around and hang out with us tonight. We're going to have some good conversation. We're actually going to have an in-studio guest. We don't have many of those, but we will have one a little bit later on in the broadcast. Now, you can find this show a variety of ways. Of course, we are live right now on the radio, 91.7 WYXR on the FM side. You can catch us there. You can also catch us on the WYXR app. You can also find this show on the TuneIn app. And we are live streaming the show tonight on Facebook Live. So if you want to go over and check that out, you can do that as well. And in the next day or so, once the show posts, you can listen to it on YouTube. And as we are a podcast, you can find us wherever it is you get your podcast. You know, if you've never listened to this show or you never seen us live or listened to us live or whatever, there's always another opportunity to do that, and that is the podcast. Lots of folks are doing podcasts. We're doing one as well, so check it out. As far as our guest list tonight, Michelle McKissack, Memphis and Shelby County School Board member, will be joining me in just a few minutes. We hadn't talked to Michelle in a while, and I found it apropos to do so on this first day of school. Students back in session today in Memphis and Shelby County. So we'll be talking to Michelle about a few things coming up in just a few minutes. A little bit later on, we'll be speaking with Veronica Jamison. She is the Vice President of Philanthropic Services for the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis. And of course, they do amazing things and helping all of us citizens here in Memphis who are doing good things in our community. So we're going to be talking with her about some initiatives and some things that are going on with the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis. And a little bit later on, we're going to be speaking with Josh Spickler. Josh is the executive director of Just City, and that is an organization you may have heard of. They are trying to come up with ways to change our criminal justice system, if you will. And last week, at the end of the week, he had a press conference, his organization did, about a bail fund, a $50,000 bail fund that they are initiating or kind of moving forward with in reference to a recent prisoner that died at the 201 Poplar. So he's going to talk about that. There are too many offenders, low-level, nonviolent crimes, if you will, that are sitting in 201 Poplar and have been sitting there ever since they got arrested. I mean, you're talking weeks and months and a lot of that. So he's trying to alleviate that backup or that backlog, if you will. So he'll be in studio with me in the second half hour to talk all about that. So that's the rundown of the show. We hope you stick around for it this evening. Now, we are in a brand new month. August is here. And each and every Monday, we always like to celebrate you, especially if you were born on a particular day. And, Yeah, today is no exception to that rule. It is August 1st, and we have plenty of birthdays to talk about. But I can't do that until I say, hit it, Bryn. Happy birthday going out to the following folks. Happy birthday to Marty Miller. Dr. Nikki Gates Golden celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to Barbara Jones. Tawanda Pirtle. If that last name sounds familiar, Pirtle, think of chicken. Yeah, long-standing establishment here in Memphis. It's Tawanda's birthday today. Happy birthday to Rosalind Cecily. My old friend from television, Brad Nygaard, is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to Wendy Nicholson and to Rita Lewis. So happy birthday to each and every one of you born on August 1st. And we hope that this day has been filled with fun and laughter. And from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, we look to be with you next year for your next trip around the sun. Thank you, Bryn. So before we move into the news and notes, a couple of the deaths to report. I don't know how many of you remember the TV show WKRP in Cincinnati. That was a show about a radio station way back in the 80s. And Lonnie Anderson, one of the stars of that show, she died last day or so. She was 79 years of age. She was one of the stars of that series. Pretty funny back in the day. And we caught word late this afternoon, or at least I did anyway, that Julian Bolton, many of you are familiar with Julian Bolton. He was a well-known attorney in this town. He transitioned today. A bit of a shock in terms of that. Once I found that out this afternoon, and for many of you as well, really nice guy, really good guy. And again, he transitioned today. I did not get an age on him, but for each of them, may your memories always be a blessing. So today, as I stated a minute ago, was the first day of school for Memphis and Shelby County students. And along with, coming in and seeing your old friends and getting excited about a new school year, many of you came into the "we don't want to see your cell phone" rule. It's a law now, by the way. And if you have a cell phone, you are to keep it out of sight. It's supposed to be put away. You are not allowed to pull it out or use it under any circumstances. And that is like the rule for every school in the district. Now, I don't know that we see much of that in the elementary schools, but you middle schoolers and you high schoolers, I know you guys wake up with the phone on your ear and you go to bed with them on your ear as well. But during the school day, that is for learning and education, as I like to say. Yes, keep those cell phones stowed away. If you don't, you're going to face some disciplinary action. And, of course, one of the things, that nobody wants to do is to take your cell phone from you and put it away from you as well. So don't make them visible. Don't keep them visible, because they will be taken by school officials, okay? So if you didn't know that, and I don't know how anybody didn't know that, but if you didn't know that, you know it now. In other news, authorities are still looking for Austin Drummond. Now, who is that? He is the man accused of a quadruple murder in Dyer County last week. You remember, first a baby was found in the yard of a resident in Lake County, just sitting there. Come to find out that 4 people that were found dead were directly associated with that child by means of being its mother, father, grandmother, and uncle. And they were all found dead. And so the law enforcement folks at TBI have identified Austin Drummond, age 28, as a man accused of these crimes. Now, over the weekend, TBI arrested 2 individuals in connection with this case as accomplices. And this afternoon, they arrested a 23-year-old female who has been labeled an accomplice after the fact in all of this as well. Mr. Drummond should be considered very dangerous. He's armed and very dangerous, rather. He was last seen in Jackson, Tennessee on Wednesday. And early this afternoon, law enforcement cordoned off a 2-mile area very close to Union University out there. And they thought they may have seen him or gotten information that he might have been out in the woods. They had drones flying around. They had helicopters flying around. They barricaded streets, the whole 9 yards. So far, to this point, they have not found anybody or not found him as of yet. So again, be on the lookout for this guy because he is accused of killing 4 people last week in a very, very heinous and terrible crime. I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to kickstart this broadcast. It's the first day of school, and I have our good friend, Michelle McKissack, school board member, is going to be joining me. We're going to talk about a number of things. This is Real Talk Memphis. I am Chip. Glad to be here. Glad to have you out there on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from the Halloran Center for Performing Arts and Education, setting the stage for everyone. The Halloran Center next door to the Orpheum invites you to be in the center of it all through live entertainment, arts education, community programs, and event spaces all year round. More information at orpheum-memphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on a beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. Glad to be here and glad to have you aboard and glad to have my next guest. She is one of my favorites and I've known her for a very, very long time. And, you know, today is the first day of school, was the first day of school, and I wanted to have her on to talk about some school-related issues. Please welcome to the show school board member Michelle McKissack. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Chip. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you. Now, she told me during the break that it's a big day. It's a big day in the McKissack family because the daughter is starting high school today, right?
That's right. Yeah, little Miss Bliss, as we call her. Bliss is ninth grader she stepped into it today. Her first day of high school. See, I'm all just tongue-tied.
Yes, you are. You're very excited for Bliss. You're very excited for your daughter. And what are we saying? What school she's going to?
Yeah, a proud White Station High School Spartan. That's where I graduated from. My 3 sons all graduated from there.
Look at that.
Lots of legacy.
Absolutely. Shout out to White Station High School. There you go. I had to put that all in there. Absolutely that. Well, listen, it's great to have you with us. Of course, a lot going on continually and still. I saw you recently on Behind the Headlines, you and one of your colleagues talking about some of the issues at hand. And, of course, of recent, the Shelby County Commission has been having conversations, and we thought there was going to be a vote in reference to changing the school board elections to the regular county election schedule, which would be next year. And of course, for several school board members who were elected in 2024, which was last year, if this thing were to pass, it would cut those terms basically in half. Of course, this has generated a lot of conversation. And I guess before we get too far into this, what is your take on all of that?
Well, I was at that county commission meeting last week when
Hmm.
they decided to delay the vote. And I want to applaud the county commission for doing that, to really just take an even deeper dive than they already have been in listening to the community, listening to board members as well, and making a very, very tough decision. So I was glad that they were being thoughtful about that, or even more thoughtful. But it's something that I'm torn over, to be quite honest with you, because I understand the mindset of holding school board members accountable for what they believe that perhaps maybe they aren't at this time. But at the same time, this is something that I'm concerned. If it's our county commission overseeing school districts,
Right.
I'm concerned about it isolating it to just one school district within this county. People need to remember there are several others. I think with like 6 or 7 total school districts within Shelby County,
Hmm.
and from Germantown, Bartlett, Collierville, Millington, Arlington, Lakeland, and so including MSCS. So that's my only concern, that it's just isolated to this school district.
Now, this law was authored up at the State House in Nashville by a couple of members up there, and I guess my one of my biggest concerns in reference to this is, once again, it seems to me like we're moving forward on the elected official side of things with the county commission, with not really paying a lot of attention to the will of the people one way or the other. This is something that they had complete autonomous. They could do what they wanted to do in terms of this, but I know Representative G.A. Hardaway got up and said, "Well, wait a minute, might we need to slow down, put the brakes on a little bit about all of this, and maybe get an opinion from the Attorney General to see if this is even lawful or legal." Now, I have spoken to a couple of your other colleagues who said that they don't think it is, and this if they decide to move forward in this way, this could lead to a lawsuit potentially. In reference to all of that. So, we're taking a very critical situation, and we could be making it worse, couldn't we? I mean, if they decide that they want to move forward with all of this. Now, I can understand the term limit part of it. I get that. And I think most people understand that as well. However, my first thought is give the people a right to make a decision, and maybe put a referendum on the ballot or something. I don't know. I just wanted to get your thought about all that.
Well, that was a concern that was, as you said, mentioned by some of my colleagues, several other people, about how when the county commission and the city council were determined to be term limited, the public decided that via a vote,
Right.
via a referendum.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what is another concern. And, as far as the term limits, I think everyone is okay with saying, hey, we need to move forward. Actually, one of the first people that actually this vote would impact more than almost any other board member. Yes, it would cause them to have the option to run again, but that would mean that it would bring an end to my tenure on the school board, because I'm coming toward the end of my second term, and in a sense, I felt like I was just getting my sea legs, so to speak. But I'm always going to serve this community in whatever capacity. But that's the concern. It's like, is it being fair and balanced? And I'm not debating whether or not the county commission is completely within their purview to make this decision. And I know there's been a lot of talk about holding board members accountable and not being responsive to the public.
Sure.
So it's just a lot's happened in a whole lot of time, a short amount of time. And so I wish everything would have slowed down. I think everything's been moving way too fast since last December, when this really kind of hit a fever pitch.
Yeah, absolutely that. And, it just doesn't seem to, like, you're right. It doesn't seem like there's any settling here. There's always, there's always something going on. Now we're in the middle of we're starting a brand new school year. We have a new interim superintendent of education, who's got to get his feet wet, as well. And you bring up good points. Now, if they were to move forward with this, and you said you're coming to the end of your second term, but it would be cut short as well. And that experience aspect of things, because there's a couple of you on there who've been around for a while, who understand how this train moves, that could be very, very detrimental. And that's why I keep saying to myself, people need to slow down, take a breath, and pause, and really understand the ramifications of all of this. Let me ask you a question. Would you have an issue because, we have this quote unquote possibility of a takeover first of the year when they get back in session. Would you have a problem with the county commission? I think one of the proposals was to have them oversee you all, as a body as well. Or what exactly are your thoughts about that?
As far as the county commission or the state renewing their efforts to take over the school district,
yes.
I'm definitely not in favor of that. This is the largest school district in the state, and there's been a lot of good that's also transpired in this school district. It's not all been this horrible, awful news. Of course, there is always room for improvement and growth, but this school district is dealing with something that no other school district in the state is dealing with, the level of poverty. It is so concentrated here in Memphis, and that's what impacts a lot of the outcome of the performance. Not that students who have a high need cannot be academically excellent. They absolutely can, but there are just so many challenges, so many hurdles that you have to jump over and address before you can even start addressing the academic part of teaching a child. And we have to make sure they're fed, that they have coats in the wintertime, and in some cases that they even have power on in their homes.
Right.
So it's all of that plays into it that I have, had a front row seat to for the last several years, and just really have learned so much about what impacts a child's learning. You know it, but when you see it in real time, up close, it really just, it breaks your heart, and it has an impact, and you understand better why the scores are where they are right now. Plus, believe it or not, folks think, COVID is over with, but we are still being impacted by COVID-19 and the impact it had on children learning.
So you're talking, so you brought up some good points. You brought up a lot of factors that people may not necessarily think about in reference to all of this. Now, they didn't know before, they know now. You're a fighter, and you fight for what you believe is right, and you have ever since last year's situation. And now, I guess I wonder if the county commission seems so attached to now all of a sudden to you all. I mean, making critical these are very important and critical decisions, and I couldn't even begin to see how this could be as impactful as, I don't know that they think they understand how impactful this could possibly be should they make that decision, should they make that move in the future. Now I'm going to go back just for a second, back to what happened with Dr. Fagus last year. There was no concern whatsoever to the will of the public. You had a front row seat to all of that. And I mean, it was absolutely, there was no concern. And I don't think that anybody can argue that.
I think that's an accurate statement.
Yeah.
No, it's an accurate statement.
Absolutely. And they went ahead and moved forward with this decision. Now, we're looking at the same thing again by saying, well, we're a body of however many, I think there's 13 county commissioners, and we can make this decision one way or another. Once again, Michelle, and you tell me if I'm wrong, the public seems to be overlooked in this process. Now, right now, there's a temporary stop sign because they have to sort of get their ducks in a row, which they didn't do when they brought this up in the first place, in my opinion. But this to me reflects once again the lack of consideration for the general public. And I don't know how you feel about that, but I mean, I'm curious to know.
Well, I believe that in this case, perhaps, and I can't speak for any county commissioner, but that they were elected by the people. So perhaps they believe that they are speaking for the people. Certainly that was the case for, maybe that's what some of my colleagues saw on the board when they really pushed hard and made a decision that impacted this school district. And I didn't support that decision, but at this point, I'm focused on, here we are at a new school year, and how do we just move forward? I can't continue to look in the rear view mirror, and that is my job. That's what I am tasked with as a school board member, of how to make things better for this school district, for the students, the families of the school district. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm gonna let the other folks know it's their turn to make that decision, and I hope they do listen to what the community wants. That's what we are all here for, is to serve the public.
Educationally speaking, Michelle, what are the challenges that you, as a school board member, are looking at, as a whole, in terms of our school district? There are always metrics. There are always things that you look forward to in a new school year, new challenges and things like that. What are some of the challenges that you see that you would really like the board as a body to address this year in terms of our schools?
Just the stability. I think that's what our district needs more than anything else. It has been a bit of a roller coaster, quite honestly, for the last few years. And that I think that can potentially have an impact on our educators who are doing the job very hard every day. And interim superintendent, Dr. Richmond, did unveil his academic plan and platform of how to go about stabilizing the district. So I'm hopeful. I saw elements of it that I was pleased with, where that there is a lot of support for new teachers so that they don't have to figure everything out. They can truly just hit the ground running when they get into the classroom. They have lessons plans that have been sanctioned by the district from top educators. And that's just something that I really want to emphasize. That I read something in the Memphis Flyer the other day. It was the editor's letter, and she mentioned in there about how this was a subpar school system. And I'm like, those types of phrases really bother me, because I know there are amazing and excellent educators. And I know that the life that happens outside of our school doors, that's what impacts inside the school doors. And I use my own children. They all went to their zoned elementary school, Downtown Elementary. And at the time my oldest was there, Foot Homes was still open. That's a now defunct public housing development. And these kids were coming into the exact same school building, being taught by the exact same teachers. But it's their lived experiences outside of this that impacted their test scores. Because I'm like, my children didn't have to think about anything but going to school. They were fed, they were clothed, they, slept, they had power on, none of those things. So all those teachers had to do was educate them. Then we had children where I personally bought school supplies and school uniforms and kept a clothes closet at Downtown Elementary for children who did not have that level of support because of the challenging financial environment that they were coming from. Memphis is a high poverty city. That is what impacts our education. So I'm here to say, how can we support our children? So that's why I'm hopeful. Every new school year, I love the beginning of a new school year. I'm always full of hope of how we can help all of our children.
Well, absolutely that, and you're right. And it doesn't help you. We can't ignore what the problem is, but we do need to be more involved in the process of educating our young people and getting them to the place where they belong. Well, congratulations to you, and congratulations to your daughter for starting high school, and of course we will be keeping a very close eye on what happens with the Memphis and Shelby County School Board. Et al. And others as time moves forward. Michelle McKissack, school board member, thank you, my friend, for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Chip. Always a pleasure being with you.
Talking to you soon. Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's a view from somebody who knows best. And, we can't hide, run away from the challenges that we face as a city and our community. But at the end of the day, how do we get our children to the place that they need to be? How do we help those who are in unfortunate situations? Those are questions that we need to address on a daily basis, and we need to keep in mind as well. Thank you to Michelle McKissack for joining me. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will continue on this Monday ride we like to call Real Talk Memphis. Don't go away. There's more to come.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
Programming on WYXR is brought to you by a grant from Arts Memphis, who has invested $94 million into our local arts community to teach, uplift, unite, and engage Memphians of all ages and zip codes.
Support for WYXR comes from the Metal Museum. On the last Thursday of each month, May through September, the museum hosts their free after-hours event, Wet Thursdays, featuring metalsmithing demonstrations, exhibitions, food and drink trucks, and music from local bands and DJs. More information can be found at metalmuseum.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city, a beautiful Monday evening at that. Welcome back to the big broadcast. Chip with you. And my next guest works for an organization that flat out gets it done. The Community Foundation of Greater Memphis. I mean, they provide so much help for so many groups and organizations and nonprofits out there, connecting folks together to make the Mid-South strong as it should be. And my next guest is the Vice President of Philanthropic Services for the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis. She is Veronica Jamison. And Veronica, it's great to have you on the show. Welcome to Real Talk Memphis.
Yeah, thank you, Chip. What a generous introduction. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be here this evening.
Well, listen, the greater, to me, the mark of a successful organization is you just continue to do what you do for so long, a period of time, and help so many people along the way that we almost take it for granted every now and again. And that's why I think it's good to bring out, folks who are really doing that work on a daily basis. And I know that this has to be heartfelt. To work for this organization, I really think you have to have a heart for others. Now, how long have you been with the Community Foundation?
You know what? I can't believe I'm even close to saying it, but it'll be 4 years in October.
Is that right?
It'll be 4 years.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is hard work. It's hard work. You have to absolutely love what you do and love this community and show up for this community. And I appreciate you shining a light.
Now, one of the things that I looked at when I was checking things out, in terms of the organization is August. And August is, and I absolutely did not know this, but August is Black Philanthropy Month. And I thought that was pretty intriguing. And I wanted to find out a little bit about that, what that's all about, how you all prepare for that, and what goes on.
Oh, I love that you stumbled across it, and that's the exact reason why we're stepping a bit bolder and more forward this year. National Black Philanthropy Month has been a thing since 2011. It's actually a global initiative. It's a global movement. And the Community Foundation really joined that movement in 2021, just ahead of my tenure starting here at the foundation. And we've done a myriad of things, but, we are really honing in on that this year. It really is a month that celebrates philanthropic contributions and the power and the giving of Black people and organizations, everyday Memphians. And so we're excited this year to host a couple of different things. I know we'll probably get to it at some point, but it is National Black Philanthropy Month. It is our month for sure. And we know that to help and heal this community is going to take all of us.
That particular point is very, very relevant. And let's talk about it. You do have some big events that are happening that I think that people need to know about because one thing I've always been very cognizant of is the generosity of Memphians towards one another. as a people. And for us in particular, this is an opportunity, I think, for really us to showcase as a people how we help each other and how we help to uplift and move each other forward. Am I correct in that?
That's right. That's right. And that was the exact notion when we were sitting around the table, in the office and really thinking about how do we really amplify the voices and bring the people together this year. And so we curated with a fantastic host committee, a symposium this year, a half-day symposium, the Powered by Us symposium, highlighting the generosity of Memphians, as you mentioned, Chip. Friday, August 22nd, it is a free event. It will be at Bridges. The registration is live and open now. It's an opportunity for everyday Memphians, whether you are a small business owner, whether you are affiliated in your church or your faith-based community. If you are just the neighborhood grandmother or auntie or cousin that's giving back and you don't even realize that you're giving back. It's an opportunity for us all to come together to talk about the power that is within us, especially given the times that we are in this predominantly Black community. It's truly going to be powered by us. And we need to pause and think about how are we keeping it in our family? How are we setting up the next generation? So it's going to be a powerful day. That we are excited about. Again, seats are limited. We want everyone to get there. So the registration is live now. You'll get on cfgm.org/powered. And please register. We want everyone there.
When I read the description of it, Black Philanthropy Month is a global celebration every August that uplifts Black giving, leadership, and community investment. It highlights Black philanthropists, promotes funding equity, and inspires collective action. Now, that last part, inspiring collective action, is really one of the standouts in all of that, because you're going to let us know through this event you just talked about how to be able to do that. I think a lot of people may, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, may want to figure out how to do more. I want to do more, but I don't know exactly how to do it or how to go about this. But you're going to have people at this event specifically designed to be able to talk to folks about all of this, to explain about all of this, to answer questions about all of this, and as you said earlier, to try to make us stronger as a people. Am I correct?
Correct. That's correct. We will have folks from all walks of life. Breakout sessions will come together collectively as a group. There'll be an incredible amount of time for networking and really just for us to love on each other. And I love that you're honing in on the collective power, because what we believe and what we want to cascade more in our community is, it's not just about our treasure, the amount of money that we can give, whether it's $1, $5, whatever that is, but our time, our talent, our treasure, and the people we know. So our ties, how does that all collectively come together so that we are doing whatever it takes to be empowered and be emboldened and be inspired collectively together?
Yeah, I think that's a really big deal, and I would urge folks to find out more about it, and if they want to participate, to be a part of it. Just before I let you get out of here, some of the other initiatives that you all and the partnerships that you all work with, it's just amazing to me, because you can't do what you do as an organization or a foundation without the help of so many people making it as successful an organization as it is. And if someone were to ask you, Veronica, what is this organization all about? How would you describe it? Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I read that you were one of 40 under 40 that were celebrated. Was it last year? Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. That's correct. Feel honored.
I do my homework on things. Well, congratulations about that. And I think that says a lot about you as a person, but in the organization. But if you had to give a nutshell description of what the Community Foundation is really all about, how would you describe it?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. Again, I've been We have been collectively wanting to say this louder, but we are the hub. We are the hub, the philanthropic hub that connects capital, which is our resources, to solutions. So it is, how do we connect the dollars to the solutions to really make our community better? So in a nutshell, that's what we do. We work with nonprofits, as you mentioned, lots of nonprofits, agencies, individuals and families. If you've got a small business or a corporation, how do all of those things come together to collectively make Memphis better? Again, connecting the capital to the resources is the key.
I tell you, it's an amazing organization. It's an amazing foundation, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to us about the organization, but more importantly, Black Philanthropy Month, which is the month of August. And again, tell people once again, if they want to find out more about this particular month and the event you have coming up, how they reach out, how they connect.
That's right. So you're going to go to www.cfgm.org/BPM. That's going to tell you everything that's going on in the month of August. That's www.cfgm.org/BPM. You can register for the symposium. You can find out how you can actually give on 828. Giving 828 is a giving day where we can all collectively give to these organizations that are boots on the ground. So there's a symposium you can attend, and then there's a giving day you can participate in. But visit www.cfgm.org/BPM.
Veronica Jamison, ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of Philanthropic Services for the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis. Veronica, great to meet you. Great to have you on the show. This was your first time.
Thank you so much, Chip.
I hope you don't make it your last time.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, and I'll certainly be back.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here.
Have a good evening.
Yes, ma'am. You
Bye-bye.
too. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know about the fine work that the folks at the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis do, I think you know a little bit more now. Great to have Veronica on the show. We're going to take a final break, and when we come back, we're going to shift gears, and we're going to talk about the local criminal justice system and what one organization is doing to try to change things a little bit. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't you dare go away. We're not done yet.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support from WYXR comes from Sunset Jazz at Court Square, a free, family-friendly concert series presented by Just Jazzin', downtown Memphis and City of Memphis. Held every second Sunday from May through October, this annual event brings the smooth sounds of Memphis jazz to the heart of downtown at 62 North Main Street. Each show spotlights local talent in a wide range of styles, from straight ahead to swing. More information can be found at sunsetjazzmemphis.com.
Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. And, criminal justice reform in this city has been a topic of conversation for a very long time. And, there's always been the question about folks who are incarcerated, and many folks who have been incarcerated on low-level nonviolent offenders, low-level crimes in this town, sitting in jail for a very long period of time, some of them for a very long period of time. We all know about the problems going on at 201 Poplar. They have so many people now that they have to put people in intake. When they intake these folks, they have to house them down there because of the overcrowded problem. Well, this organization that we're about to talk about is called Just City. And by the way, they just celebrated their 10th anniversary. They've been doing the work for a long time. Very pleased to have in studio with me their executive director. He is Josh Spickler. And Josh, it's great to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, Chip. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely, man. It's been a minute since you and I have reconvened and had a conversation. Now, on Friday, you and your organization had a big press conference to announce $50,000 bond situation?
We have a community bail fund, which is money that the community donates to Just City, and the way cash bail, we pay the full cash amount. We're not bail bondsmen, so we pay, if you have a $500 bond, we pay $500 cash.
Right.
And once the case is over, we get that $500 back, and we use it for the next person. So we've had a revolving bail fund for a long time, and in light of Raquez McDaniel's tragic death a week ago tonight, we worked with his family and announced a $50,000 drawdown of that same Memphis Community Bail Fund. So we're committing $50,000 to get as many people out of that jail as quickly as possible because of the conditions in that jail. We wouldn't normally do that because we want the bail fund to last as long as possible, but right now the situation in 201 Poplar in the jail is so critical that we felt we had to do something to get as many people out of there as possible.
Now, why this case? What was there about this case that made you decide to change things around a bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. A lot of people go through that system, but Raquez McDaniel didn't make it out. He died last Monday night, and he died having been in that jail for about 8 days. And as far as we can tell, and from everyone I can speak with, he never moved from the second floor of the jail in the 8 days that he was there. And I can tell you as an attorney and someone who's worked in that system for a long, long time, that anybody who took a look at his case, whether that be a judge, a prosecutor, or a defense attorney, would have gotten him out. A prosecutor would have dropped the case. A judge would have released him on his own recognizance. A public defender would have called Just City and said, hey, can you pay this $1,000 bail? And we would have paid it within an hour or two. But instead, he sat there for 8 days, seemingly never moved from his position in the second floor to court. He had 3 court dates on the calendar that he didn't make, and that's just completely unacceptable. And it's what goes on in there every day, and it cost Raquez McDaniel his life, and it cost his family, a brother, a son, a loved one, a father. He was the father of a young child. In that case, just we couldn't stand by, and so we had to do something. It's not much. It's we may get 20 to 30 people out with this amount of money, and it's there are 3,000 people, 3,200 people in the jail today. So it's not much, but it's what we can do. Why is, in your opinion, because you do this on a daily basis, why is there such a bottleneck inside that building? I mean, why do things move so slowly? It seems there's a lot of answers to that question. I think that the simplest one is that we're putting too many people in there, number one. People are making those decisions. There are judicial commissioners making that decision when they set a bond that's too high. There are prosecutors making that decision. There are judges making the decision to keep too many people, as you said in your introduction, who are on low-level offenses, who are not accused of nonviolent charges. Too many of those people in there. Our bail fund only pays bails up to $4,000, which by definition means it's a low-level, typically nonviolent offense. And so that's part of it. But then, we've had surges in jail population before, but we've never seen 370 people like we did last week sitting in the intake area, which is designed for about 50 people. Right. So somebody's not doing their job. And that somebody probably works for Shelby County Sheriff Floyd Bonner. He determines how most of this works inside the jail. Who gets moved where, when the paperwork gets done, who gets transferred to another part, who gets released, who gets booked in. His employees do that, and somebody's not doing their job. I'm trying to find out who, just like you are, because it's absolutely embarrassing and it's deadly. Yeah, you've been talking about this for a very long time now, and it seems like one would think that we would be making some progress, but I mean, this overabundance of so many people are being locked up these days, and I guess there needs to be some relief at some particular point in time. And you said in your press conference that the young man who died a week ago, that was a needless death.
and I'm sure that many 100%. Of them might be,
and I haven't said yet, but it was the 7th, as far as we know, death in that jail this year. That's 1 per month, which is just an astonishing mortality rate for a jail. Most jail deaths should be preventable because you have health care on site, because you are observing people and surveilling them 24 hours a day. You are assessing them when they come in for their health conditions, for their mental health conditions, and you should know who is a risk. This is how jails and prisons work. And so to have 7 people dead is just inexcusable.
The mental health component in all of this is a very, very big issue. And it has been said by many, you and many other organizations, that people who are dealing with mental health issues should not be locked up at 201. Seems to be like there are more facilities available for that. What's your take on that situation?
Well, and that's another reason that this case drew our attention, because this case began with a call for help, a call for mental health care help to this young man who was apparently having some sort of crisis. And the police showed up and they tased him and they dragged him to the hospital, and he tried to get away. And then they grabbed him again and brought him to jail. There was no crime being committed when the police were called. And instead of getting the mental health care he needed at a place like Alliance Healthcare Services out on Summer Avenue, we have a brand new crisis center out there with 45 beds that has a spot for police officers to drop people off. Instead of going there, he went to jail, and he stayed in one spot for 8 days, and then he died.
Yeah, that was it was a very, very sad story. Let me ask you a question about the relationship with your organization and District Attorney Mulroy's office in terms of, because I saw something that he posted the other day, and it seems like there was some sort of commingling in terms of maybe your organization, or maybe him supporting kind of what you're doing, or am I wrong? Yeah, in that.
I'm not sure what that might be, Chip. We don't have any formal partnership with the DA's office.
It was sort of like a post. It was a posting on social media that he was talking about. But does he share your thought process and or frustration in where the criminal justice system is here?
I think he shares some of it, but Steve Mulroy and the people who work for him are prosecutors. Their job is to prosecute people who are accused of breaking the law. I was a public defender. My job was to make sure that those people's rights were defended, and if they were not guilty, then we got a not guilty verdict. And so we see the world very differently.
Yeah.
I mean, I think anyone who's looking at this system right now, no matter what role they play, is not going to be pleased and is going to share some of my viewpoints. And so, but ultimately, I'm working in support of people who he is trying to prosecute. Now, I like Steve. Steve and I talk regularly, and I think he's a better prosecutor than we've had in this city in the past. But we are ultimately on different sides of most cases, and so I'm not sure what you saw, but he has supported some of our work. He was at our gala that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw a photo.
I did.
I need to get my hands on all these photos of me and Steve Mulroy and make sure they're scrubbed.
Absolutely. Anyway, if you're just joining us, we're speaking with Josh Spickler. He's the executive director of Just City. And now you laid out some very specific thoughts in reference to what should happen at 201 Poplar and with the sheriff's office and the Shelby County Jail. Kind of for our audience who may not know, there were at least 3 specific points that you made. Kind of go over those points.
Yeah, and we tried to choose 3 places where we believe Sheriff Bonner has some control, because he does control the people who do these functions. And so the first one is this intake process. We know from the sheriff's own report card that the average length of time it takes to intake to book someone into the jail is 72 hours, and that's way too high. We believe that if you surge some employees and some resources to that part of the jail, you can reduce that time in half pretty quickly, and you can probably get it down to 25 hours by the end of the year. So that's what we asked. Another thing that we wanted the sheriff to do was monitor people who stay in court for more than 48 hours without a court date. There's some constitutional implications to staying in jail for more than 48 hours without meeting with an attorney or seeing a judge. The sheriff has data on who those people are. So that was another area where we want 100% of the people who are in jail for 72 hours to have been to court. And then the last one was this mental health issue that we already talked about, is that if folks are in a mental health crisis, they don't get booked into the jail at all, but that they get diverted into a place like Alliance Healthcare Services or another community facility that is ready to deal with someone in a mental health crisis. Those folks should not be booked into the jail at all.
At the end of the day, the last question. At the end of the day, what do you want people to really understand? For those who don't have a family member, a loved one, or an individual locked up for a crime, a low-level crime, or what have you, what do you want people in our community, in this city, to understand about the work that you're trying to do every day for these folks?
Well, I think Just City gets a bad rap sometimes because people think we just want everybody out of jail. We just want everybody out of prison. No one should be held accountable, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. Sure. I have children in this community. I've lived in this community for a long time. I have family and loved ones in this community. I want this to be a safe community. And what decades now of evidence tells us that if you have a fair criminal justice system, if you have a criminal justice system that holds someone accountable quickly and fairly and evenly, then you have a safer community. We want fairness. We want someone who has a $100,000 job at FedEx to get the same treatment as the person who works for $15 or $20 an hour at FedEx. And that is not the case in the system we have. And that just makes for an unsafe city. It has to be the same for everyone. If it's not, it's eventually going to get to the people who make $100,000 or more. Mm-hmm. We want to think that we can keep folks separate, that we can other them, that we can label them, and that they will stay over there and we can have our lives over here. That's not true with any system, and it's especially not true with the criminal justice system. And so we want fairness. We want people to be treated just the same no matter how much money they have, and we are so far from that. And we put people in this jail and we forget them, and it takes deaths and tragedies and families just grieving in order to get anyone's attention, and it shouldn't be like that. So that's kind of what we're about.
Josh Spickler, ladies and gentlemen, he is the executive director of Just City. They've been around 10 years. They just celebrated their 10th anniversary. Time gone fast for you, man?
Sometimes it seems quick. Sometimes it seems like 100 years.
Thanks for coming, man. Really
Thanks, Chip. It's good to be here.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's a realistic look at what is happening in our criminal justice situation, and we thank Josh for being here. And as Bryn plays us out, don't go anywhere. Bryn's show is next. It is Event Horizon, and plays some pretty interesting music. You ought to check this show out. It really is pretty good. But listen, thank you for being a part of this broadcast tonight, as always. Really appreciate you for watching, paying attention to what we try to do here each and every week. If you like what we do, go out and tell somebody. We're here every Monday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. And, of course, we're a podcast as well. And so for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, of course, I'm waiting for her to come this way. Lovely Lola, that's right. Yes, that's Lola. And for Bryn, who's manning the production board and getting ready to do his own show in about a minute. And for your humble host, me, Chip. Thank you, Memphis, for being a part of what we do every week. And we really appreciate you. Go out and make it a great week. Do something good for somebody. You will be surprised how good it makes you feel. So until next time, take care. God bless. And we are out. Talk to you soon.